So here it is, the 2024 Hayabusa 25th Anniversary Edition. There's a few videos out on it already. That do basically what I'm doing now. Give a quick overview of the bike. Instrument panel is sweet. Of course, you got cruise control, launch control, all kinds of awesome electronic features on this bike. I love the instrument panel, very easy to see, clear. Looks even cooler with the lights on. Just gonna put those on real quick. Those lights show up pretty neat, nice. It's a really clean, mean-looking bike from the front. But what I'd say from the videos that I've seen, they go over the obvious features like the engravings, the emblems, the things unique to the anniversary edition. But if you don't know Hayabusas and you went to the dealership, the first thing that stands out with any of the Gen 3s or any Hayabusa is this thing is an absolute unit. Pictures do not do this bike any justice. When you see it in person, it is massive. I attribute it to if a submarine launched a torpedo and you got to ride it with a nice cushioned seat and cruise control, that's about what this thing is. But what I'll say is I was shocked by how well it handles. It feels amazing. With the weight and suspension, you don't feel anything. I mean, you don't feel all those little bumps. It's just so smooth. It feels incredible to me. Going through the turns, it feels very stable. That was my concern with this big, huge bike, but I felt wonderful going through the turns. You know, I mean, I don't get it obviously as low on the track as, you know, out there on the streets, but I get pretty low and aggressive on turns, and I just felt great. Felt very stable. Other than that, the cruise control, it's wonderful. I love having that. That gives you on stretches just an opportunity to just sit up on the bike without your hands on the bars, just stretch out. You know, feels great. Yeah, I'll tell you, the bike is incredible, man. I love it. It's just a solid bike. The power is really the reason I ended up trading in my Ducati to get this bike, was just to get back into the power range and torque. And this bike does not disappoint. What I'll say is it's very interesting. You know, you can watch some of the videos and the ride videos, but it's kind of hard to watch somebody just riding a bike with their helmet, you know, with their video on their helmet, and get an idea of what it feels like. And it is a very unique power. It's very smooth. But if you want it to, I was doing 35 in first gear and gave it a good quick turn and just about shot myself off the back end. When you need it, this thing can just slam it. But otherwise, it's a very controlled power. And of course, you can adjust all that to however you want it pretty easily on the LCD screen. But yeah, just in its default power mode A or drive mode A, it's a beast, absolute monster. I would say it's the most versatile thing I've ever ridden. You know, you can cruise on it if you want, but you can just murder it if you want without having to adjust driving modes. It's just nothing like it, that's for sure. So, but definitely like the look of the bike. It's just, you have no clue how big this thing is until you're standing right in front of it. And probably twice the width of my Ducati. Same with those exhaust. I'll probably get, you know, color matching exhaust at some point. that are a little smaller. I think these things look nice myself. I don't mind them, but they are huge. It's another thing that pictures don't do these things any justice. When you see these things in person, I mean, they're like beer kegs on the side of your motorcycle, essentially. So, same with that back end. I mean, that's another thing, looking at the videos, you know, they didn't do any justice to the actual size of this thing. For those of you that don't know, it looked like on the previous Gen 3 models that this removable single rider cowl, which looks absolutely sweet, that you had to unbolt it and screw it on and off to get the passenger seat on there. If that's true, then the anniversary edition or the new 2024s, that is not the case. Fortunately, all you have to do is there's a keyhole under there. It pops the back right off, and you can just switch between the single rider cowl and the passenger seat very easily. Yeah, this is the most cushiony seat I've ever ridden. My Ducati's was pretty comfortable, but this thing has got like 6 inches almost of gel cushion. And it's got a very comfortable, interesting texture on it too. So, pretty impressive. But, yeah, the raised lettering's kind of cool. Gives you a little more to have to use a detail brush to get in there between the letters, but not the end of the world. A lot of gold accents throughout the bike. The chain, as advertised, pretty sweet. Got the Hayabusa logo on some of them. It's amazing that you just got these little tiny kickstands on this massive bike. I get nervous putting this thing down on its own kickstand. I feel like the kickstand's just going to snap right on out and give way. But, yeah, man, you get what you pay for. You're not going to see a lot of these on the road or any of the Busas just because of the size. I think for sport bike riders, it's a little daunting. I'll tell you what, though, man, it feels great to me. You know, I mean, yeah, sure, and maybe not as nimble as my previous bikes or the Ducati, but still pretty nimble to me. I am a bigger guy, but, yep, just fired right through the turns, no problems, felt great, felt amazing. Just feels real stable underneath you. So, that's it, my friends. She is a beaut.